Hello Aquarius, this is your general reading for the week of the 15th to the 21st of October. Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising sign, depending on what you resonate best with. Let's have a look at your overall messages. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on new videos that come out. Remember, these are general readings. If you want insights into your personal situation, you can contact me via the links below for private readings. Aquarius. Let's have a look at your messages. So Aquarius, I feel overall like there's some changes. I feel like you're going through some period right now, quite possibly a darker period that you are moving away from. I feel that quite possibly a previous circumstance may have been a little bit heavy for you, may have been a little bit difficult or challenging for you. I do feel like quite possibly there's been some challenging circumstances for you previously, but I feel like there's going to be some changes happening this week. I feel some kind of transition. I feel quite possibly that you're focused on some bright new future. I feel that you're looking to stay positive. I feel like right now the circumstances that you're going through are a little bit heavy, a little bit burdensome, but I feel that you're trying to stay optimistic in this situation. I feel that you're doing your best to stay positive. You're focused on positive energy, but you have a lot of trouble behind you, essentially. I feel like you may have been dealing with a situation that essentially may have left you fatigued, but I feel like whatever you've gone through, I feel like it can't get any worse than that. And I feel, Aquarius, that you essentially have the worst behind you right now. I feel that there are going to be some more positive changes coming up. I do feel that quite possibly some of the situation may be having to do with some kind of way that you were thinking, or quite possibly some kind of structure that you may have felt a lack of independence with, Aquarius. I do feel like this could be some kind of ideology. This could be some kind of belief that may have been impressed upon you, or quite possibly some structure. If we're dealing with some kind of work situation, this could have something to do with some kind of organization, some kind of job that you had, where quite possibly the ideology of this company or the way that they were doing things was not necessarily in agreement with what your beliefs or ideologies were, Aquarius. And I feel quite possibly this is where some of this darker energy is coming from. I feel quite possibly things may have changed in a way that was a little bit challenging for you. And I feel like quite possibly you're skeptical or maybe a little bit hesitant in the situation. I feel like quite possibly you're putting up some kind of wall regarding this structure or this organization. If you're dealing with a work type situation here, I feel like you're trying to protect your energies, and I feel like you're trying to stay as positive as possible in the situation. I feel like quite possibly there may be a darker entity at this place that you work, or at this company, or at this organization, or some kind of way of thinking, some kind of belief that this structure has that you're not in agreement with necessarily. And you're kind of skeptical of this kind of way of thinking. If this is a relationship, I want to say that this could be an individual that is thinking in a way, in a more conforming type of way. They want to go with the status quo, essentially. I feel like this is a person, an individual who likes to do things traditionally. They like to stick to some kind of method. They like to do things in the same kind of way, in a traditional kind of way, and there's not a lot of room for movement. I feel that this can be a somewhat rigid individual, Aquarius, and I do want to say that I feel like you're putting up some kind of wall, some kind of barrier against this type of way of thinking, if this is an individual that is thinking in this type of way. And I feel these changes, I feel something quite possibly has changed with this person or in this type of organization, that you feel now that you have to protect yourself from this type of energy, and you're focusing in on something that's more positive, focusing in on some kind of growth, some kind of abundance in general, because I do feel like you're trying to put this energy behind you and you're trying to stay focused and concentrated on something more positive. So let's have a look at your overall message. So overall message is going to be balance, Aquarius. I do feel like if you're dealing with a work type situation, that quite possibly you're putting up some kind of wall against how this organization or structure is doing things or how they're thinking. I want to say try to bring some kind of balance back into this situation. And if this is a relationship, quite possibly an individual that has changed possibly their way of doing things. They're preferring to do things more traditionally or kind of stick with some kind of belief or way of thinking that you're possibly having to put up some wall against. I do want to say try to bring some kind of balance into the situation in general to make things work, especially if this is some relationship you have to deal with or if it's some kind of work situation. Instead of bringing this wall in, try to see if you can incorporate some kind of balance in general into the situation overall. And sometimes this can also be indicative of finding some kind of compromise or finding some kind of balance in a situation that quite possibly has to do with a group or with individuals at work or relationships in general. So that is your overall message for this week, Aquarius. Do let me know if you have questions or comments in the comment box below. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on new videos that come out. Don't forget to like this video and check the links below for additional readings or personal readings, and have a good week.